Nearly 3 decades ago, work had begun on a machine that could punch a hole through the fabric of reality. A hole straight through another reality and beyond. The idea was that, with the right circumstances, we could find a universe with limitless energy. This would make up for the unmanageable amount of power that the machine took up, and the irreparable damage it would most likely do to the Earth, and the surrounding solar system. But if we found a universe, at the very beginning of its creation, we'd have an unfathomable amount of raw, unidentified energy that could last us a couple billion years. And at the same time, scientists would be able to study universes that followed entirely different laws and physics from our own. Well, a few years before I was born, this was accomplished. With this limitless energy, expanding technology beyond anything possible before it, and solving most of the world's problems, like war and struggle, had been at an all-time low. That is, until a group of religious extremists tried to use the machine to prove the existence of God. This started a war, one of the largest uproars in history. Nearly every single religion turned on this small group of 30 people, which was protected by the US government. Some were scared that their God would be proven false, and some thought it was wrong to try to prove their God real rather than simply having faith. But in the end, there was no war. World leaders would not attack the US, which supplied their power. And the countries who did were often far too small to do anything major. The machine was set to search for a universe with the coordinates of various holy numbers from the Christian Bible. For weeks it searched, finding nothing. Different combinations inputted every time a search failed. Until a little over 4 months ago, January 19th, 2234. We found heaven. There was nothing else it could be. It was reality of endless sky, nothing but clouds as blue as far as the eye could see. As far any creature, machine, or natural entity could go, the air was breathable, fresh, sweet even. And the light was dim, but not too dark to see, and it was entirely empty. The only thing to note were red lakes. Every cloud had them, and they were incredibly fresh. They were still rippling upon entering the universe. Some, in fact, hadn't even fallen to the ground yet. The first 3 and even claimed they looked humanoid for a second. The damage to our world upon opening a portal is irreparable and devastating. But we now know the damage to the other world is 1,000 times worse. This actually happened to me a few years back at the University of Arts in Philadelphia. My sophomore year, I roomed with a girl named Kara. She was a jazz vocalist, but her main interest was opera. We had a small room on the 6th floor of the dormitory called Jupiter Hall. The halls were thin, and her late night singing and voice practices would keep me up late. After a month or so of lost sleep, I convinced her to move her late night practices to the main studios in the Millennium Theater building a block away. Around 8 o'clock one evening, Kara announced that she'd be practicing late for an upcoming recital and probably wouldn't be home until around midnight. Great, I thought. That means I can go to bed early. I was beat. I had a horrible day in acting studio, and I was ready to pass out as soon as I had dinner. She said goodnight and left, coffee and sheet music in hand. I made some grilled cheese and soup, gobbled it down, and immediately began to prepare for bed. By the time I got out of the shower, my eyelids were so heavy I could hardly brush my teeth. I pulled on my PJs and crawled into the top bunk of our bunk bed. I was out as soon as my head hit the pillow. I should take a second to describe the layout of our apartment. When entering the apartment, the bedroom was through a door immediately to the left. Our bathroom was inside the bedroom, just past the bunk beds. You aren't as nice in the sense that you don't have to share bathrooms. Anyway, I woke up to the sound of the apartment door closing. I opened my eyes and groggily checked my phone. Midnight, on the dot. I rolled back over and closed my eyes. I heard Kara enter the room and stop in front of the bunk bed. Checking to see if I'm actually asleep, I thought. She flopped down on the bed below me, which was strange as she was a stickler for brushing her teeth and washing up before bed. Then again, exams were just around the corner and we were all exhausted. The mattress below me creaked and then was silent. I couldn't even hear her breathing. I started to drift off again. I was just on the edge of deep sleep when I was startled awake by a noise. A key in the lock, the door opening, and Kara entering our apartment humming an opera tune. The mattress below me creaked.